Welcome to Stormy Willow, where we explore the paranormal, celebrate the odd, and never trust the living. I'm your host, Flash Mob Fossil.
And I'm your host, Adele, master of meh.
Oh, and my real name is Sarah, by the way. But you can call me Flash Mob Fossil. If you want, it's fine. I've been called worse.
Yeah.
I'm
No, that's
proud of that one flash mob I did all those years ago.
and you were the fossil of it. Yeah, even
I
though
really was. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. So here we are in March, finally.
finally,
It's
maybe.
fun.
I don't know. I guess it depends on how March is gonna go.
Oh God. Yeah. I don't know. It's just what is it? It's like Orange County. Whenever she's like, it's
One
one
big
big
shit storm after the
storm
other.
after another. That's
Yeah.
pretty much sums up the 2020s for me.
It's a fair assessment.
Fair assessment. Well, speaking of shitstorms, man, I got one for you in Denver.
Oh boy.
Oh man, guys. All right. Our booger news story comes from WTOPnews.com, where we're going to suburban Denver, where a trio of thieves orchestrated a very bizarre and cunning heist at a pet store. Now, you're like, the plan, what did they do? Well, one member decides to distract the staff by faking a seizure, while one accomplice swipes not one, but two precious bulldog puppies valued at $4,299 apiece.
Jeez.
And the one that was so like while everybody's watching the person with the seizure, the one with the two puppies makes a dash out of the store. So, this was like a movie, but they weren't anticipating a struggle at the door, and the guy drops the puppies momentarily, only for the thieves to grab them again and flee into a tinted Cadillac Escalade. Now, one thief was caught, and he's swept up in charges of theft, conspiracy, and a little something extra. They also are busted with drug possession too, while the two others and their getaway driver remain at large. But it's not over yet. One puppy was actually later returned after a sharp eyed woman realized she bought a stolen puppy for $1,500 from a street vendor. So the thieves may have gotten away with the loot for now, but Karma, oh, she's a brewing.
Yeah.
So,
People get pretty pissed about animals.
but can you imagine if you're the lady, like, first of all, like, okay, like you're buying a dog from a street vendor, and I guess you hear this news and you're like, oh shit, like good for her for, I think they should have let her keep the puppy.
Yeah, they should have let her keep it.
I feel like she should have been able to keep the
There
puppy.
shouldn't be puppies that cost $4,000 in the first
That's
place.
insane. Yeah, agreed.
So I don't
But
know. To me, it's kind of like you asked for it by making
the
this stupid made-up
whole
industry.
the whole story definitely gives ick vibes for sure. Who has the extra four? I want to know who has the extra 4,000 something dollars around to buy a puppy,
And
because the puppies are expensive anyway with the shots, all the things they have to have. Like what? So yeah, what a weird. Times are hard, but can you imagine this? Like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna fake the seizure, and you're gonna run in, grab the two puppies, take off. And I'm wondering, like, where is this pet store? Like, is it like in like a shopping center, or like people are like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
yeah, like I don't know of any pet stores like that anymore that
me
have the animals
either.
out where you can just grab them.
Right? Like, oh, I don't know, but we'll see. It sounds like they're just, finding all kinds of little ways to make a living. Drugs, like, are you here for the drugs or the puppies? Like, it's like put up the
Oh,
back of the escalator, maybe eggs too. It's
I
like
was thinking maybe
for
they were
groceries.
smuggling drugs in the puppies. Maybe they put
Ooh,
oh yeah.
maybe. Ew.
Like here you go, buddy. Just swallow this bag of pills in a rubber glove and we'll just get it out of your poop tomorrow.
Oh, poor puppies.
I don't
Oh man. Well, we want to hear about our forecast.
Do we?
I don't know.
Let's just
It's
skip it.
it's not as bad as it has been, but it's just kind of like it has been the last first few weeks of the new year. So let's start out with March 2nd and the 3rd. So you can expect skies to darken as Venus slips into retrograde, casting shadows over matters of the heart and gold. A
Okay.
chill breeze stirs the past. Lost loves, unspoken words, and tangled finances swirl like a wicked storm cloud. So, this is not going to be the time to sail into new waters. Instead, you're going to need to just kind of buckle down the hatches and let the winds of reflection guide you through the emotional downpour. So, old storms may resurface. Be ready to face them or let them pass. March 4th through 5th, we've got Mercury aligning with Neptune. The heavens grow thick with fog. The lines between dreams and reality blur like a ship lost in the mist. Beware for waters that are treacherous. But hey, your intuition's going to sharpen, but clarity might slip away like waves crashing onto jagged rocks. Navigate with care, but trust the whispers of your soul. The storm may seem disorienting, but hidden treasures are there for those who listen to the cosmic winds. So, I mean, that just sounds like an adventure. I don't know how to break that down for you.
It's like they're just blowing
uh,
woo-woo shit up your ass to make you feel better.
yeah, it's like it's gonna suck, but maybe you'll find a treasure. I don't know.
But yeah, it might be a pearl and all that salt.
It might be a pearl. I don't know. March 6th through 7th, the mighty sun squares Jupiter and the heavens roar with fiery winds. So you can expect a rush of overconfidence, striking like lightning. Your ambitions may feel like they can pierce the heavens, but beware of flying too high because the gusts are fierce and you don't hold steady.
You're gonna make an ass of yourself. That's great.
So you may want to try to find a way to hold steady because if you don't, you're going to get swept away in the wild energy. So this storm may make you feel invincible, but remember when the firecast winds can lead to a tumble if you don't watch your steps. So, it's good to feel confident, but just kind of check yourself before you wreck yourself. And then finally, March 8th through 9th, as the week winds down, the storm starts to ease, the skies clear, but the air is still going to be heavy with the weight of the past days. So you can expect soft rains that will fall gentle but maybe cleansing, washing away the chaos from the week. And it's going to be time to rebuild and restore. The worst of the tempest has passed, but don't rush to dry land just yet. Reflect, regroup, and let the mist of understanding settle around you. So here's my final word. The skies are going to be a little crazy this week, so expect unpredictable winds, hidden currents, but just trust your instincts. Stay steady on the course and let the storms teach you. The calm after the chaos will bring clarity, but only for those who weather the storm with grace. Stay strong, sailors of the stars. Back to you, Adele.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's just going to be a shitstorm. It's going to depend on how you're going to navigate.
Okay.
I'm just going to jump into the water and be like, I'm drowning.
I'm just gonna go into a coma.
I don't know if I have a lot of fight left in me. I'll be honest. I'm just going to be like that drunk person on the water. It's like, ah.
Well, I am dying to hear how people make asses of themselves or were overconfident in some way this week. So please let us know.
Yeah. Hey, we do have State of the Union on Tuesday, so that might be
Oh shit.
a
That's probably it.
guaranteed. That's what it is right there.
Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be
That
the one.
that's gonna be the one. So I mean, don't worry, you won't make that much of an ass out of yourself.
Couldn't be worse than that person.
I guarantee you. So there you go.
Okay, this was the forecast for them, not us.
Yeah, that's so true. Like we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be like,
All right. Well, it's kind of interesting. You mentioned so many water kind of things in
oh,
your astro forecast
okay.
because last week I landed on Presenter's Choice, and nothing terrifies me as much as the ocean.
You are pretty scared of the ocean.
Yes. So this is, we're kind of coming out of the winter time. People are probably getting ready for spring and the beach.
Hey,
And this
me.
is why you should not long for the beach. This is the terrors of the ocean.
You're just gonna break our hearts.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you never want to go into the ocean.
We'll see
Um,
about that.
but before I do, let me thank my sources. NOAA, of course, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Are they
Smith
still employed?
for now, I think.
That's
I think
good. That's good.
they're probably gonna have a lot of cuts. I heard a lot of stuff is probably about to change with weather and things. So for now, they're here.
Good.
Smithsonian Ocean Portal, National Geographic.com, Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, Marine Conservation Society, Australian Institute of Marine Science, and Journal of Marine Biology. We also have some accounts from like the USS Indianapolis and some historic events we will
Oh,
also chat
okay.
about. All right.
Awesome.
So I have a lot of visuals for this. So if you do have the option to watch, I would recommend for this just because you'll see some of the critters we're going to be talking about that will scare the life out of you, I'm sure. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take us on a terrifying journey through the ocean's most nightmarish realities.
Oh
We're going
dear.
to go through the 5 different sea level zones,
Oh shit.
starting
Okay.
with the sunlight zone, which is the
Okay.
beach. It's 0 to 200 meters deep or 0 to 656 feet. So it's like kind of where, humans like to hang out.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong, right? So, even just the beach itself, the sand can reach over 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 49 degrees
Wow.
Celsius. Yes, so it can burn exposed skin in seconds.
Yeah. I mean, I've
Parking
definitely had that experience. I don't think it's been 120, but it's been like, ooh, ooh, ooh.
But yeah, like it can get up to burning hot. And
Damn.
especially parking lots near the beach can even get hotter
Makes
because
sense.
of, the pavement. And it can cause a heat trap. Also, the reflection of the sunlight off the water intensifies the UV exposure to nearly 50%. So you're already just
Wow.
getting toasted from the sun. And all of this increases risk of severe burns and heat exhaustion.
Mm,
And of course, once it's really, really hot, you can have heat stroke, and it can sit in quickly and dehydrate you. It sneaks up on you, and it's very, very dangerous. A lot of people who get like lost in national parks, I think, end up having heat strokes.
that makes sense.
All right, but let's forget about the hot sand. What about the creepy crawlies in the sand?
Mm.
So, first up, we have the giant coconut crab. So these
Yummy.
are massive land crabs. They can grow up to 3 feet across. That's like 1 meter across.
Oh God.
Um, and they have the strength to crack open coconuts. So you can imagine it's not stuff for them to crack your bones as well.
Oh my God. Could you imagine, like, seriously, you're looking forward to your beach trip and you're like, what happened to your foot? Well,
The
got a
coconut crab
fresh
was hungry.
coconut crab. Like, that would just be awful.
I was eating a bunch of fruit at night on the beach. Coconut crab got my foot.
That would be horrifying. I mean, I'm
I,
sure it happens.
oh yeah, yeah. They're found on tropical islands across Africa, Asia, and Australia. A lot of these are in Australia, guys. I really don't know how anybody can live there.
Yeah. I
Crazy.
don't, speaking of the beach, the Dirtle's on fire right now.
It's on fire?
Yeah, Myrtle Beach, we've got wildfires happening there.
Really?
Um, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen a lot of hermit crabs, but I'm
I'm
sure they
still
have
gonna
other kinds of
say,
crabs. But I've not seen one of these there.
I'm just saying, that fire was caused by fireworks.
You know,
I know it. There's no evidence of it, but I just know it.
you just know. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty bad.
Probably a
Like it's still
cigarette
active.
that lit fireworks.
Yeah, it's still an active fire. So yeah, thoughts for Myrtle
Well, maybe you
Beach.
can have like a broil with some of these crabs if you find one. Nah, these
There you
guys are not
go.
found on Myrtle Beach, so don't worry about
Yeah.
that. Um, But yeah, they're nocturnal hunters, so they venture
Oh,
out at
nice.
night to scavenge, and there are
Nice walk
report.
on the beach at night. Yeah,
Yeah,
fun.
right. So these things are out there at night, and they are scavengers, and they're known to even attack small animals like birds. They can totally take
Jesus.
them out. And some even theorize that these are the scavengers that maybe, ate Amelia Earhart. Like maybe they were responsible
Oh,
for us not finding her remains. Some
snap.
speculate. Um,
No.
yeah, so you don't want to mess with those things.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we also have these things called sand strikers or bobbit worms.
Okay,
They
that
bury
looks like something
themselves.
out of Beetlejuice.
Yeah, yeah, I
Like
could
the
see that.
sandworm.
I mean, these things are huge. They're just kind
Looks
of
like a
nightmare
smiling though.
visuals.
It's kind of cute.
Of course, you would think that.
I
But
think
these things can
it
get up
is
to
cute.
10 feet long. A 10-foot long worm, okay? That's terrifying to me. And these are ambush predators, so they can bury themselves as deep as 10 feet, and they just kind of like hang out and wait, and they have razor sharp mandibles, and they will just like grab their prey and drag it under the sand
Look,
with
you
them.
could like be setting up your little beach blanket right on top of one of these suckers.
Potentially, I mean, I do think that they burrow pretty far down, but I don't know. The chances aren't zero, and that's too high for me. Um, so, those are some fun things you can encounter before even getting into the damn water. All I'm
You
saying.
haven't made it to the water
We're not
yet.
even in the water yet, people. We're just now about to get into the shallows. This is
Is
just
this
zero.
have you entitled this The Case of Why Adele Hates the Beach Part
No.
2?
No,
Is that gonna be the name of it?
I called it Oceanic Terror.
Okay. A, or why Adele doesn't like the beach.
And why I don't like the beach and why you
Don't
should.
invite Adele. Don't invite Adele to your beach party. She's not coming. She'll
I'm
stay at the
not.
pool.
I'm not coming. I'll go to the poo. All right. So now we're just now getting into the shallows. All right. So this is 0 to 3 feet of water, or 1 meter deep, like very shallow, like knee deep. All right. So the water here is still warm, still clear. You can see your feet, the rippling sunlight, and there's like some harmless fish kind of in this area that hang out. But one thing that is beautiful and alluring is the blue-ringed octopus.
Oh
Now,
yeah,
this
so
thing is tiny. It's only 5 to 8 inches. Like, tiny. You can fit in the palm of your
little.
hand. It's so
Yeah,
cute.
little guy.
Or 12 to 20 centimeters for those of you using the metric system. It's small enough to fit in your palm, and a lot of people do have the tendency to want to pick these things up.
Yeah, I would. It's adorable.
Don't pick these things up.
Okay,
They
I
are
won't.
very, very venomous. They will kill
Okay.
you before you can even get out of the water.
Oh
They're
shit.
found in tide pools in the shallows, like I said, and they're primarily around Australia, Indonesia, and Pacific islands. Like I said, Australia is going to be like on
Uh,
all of these. But they,
maybe I should cross that off on my want to visit list.
yeah, sorry, Australia. You're like slowly like getting more and more down on my list just because of all the dangerous land and sea life you have there.
But
But
well, we don't
yes,
have Donald Trump, so
well,
there
that's
you
true. That's true.
go. Take your chances.
We all have dangers in different ways.
We all have dangers. I don't know. I might take my chances with this octopus.
At least the octopus makes sense.
Yeah, that's very true.
But yeah, these guys are so venomous. They produce
Oh God.
it's a neurotoxin that's 1,000 times more potent than cyanide.
What? So like you're dying on the spot.
You're dead. You're dead. And what's even worse about this, though, so exactly how, like, I heard this on a different podcast, someone actually getting bitten by one of these things, they survived, but it's so horrifying. So, unlike snakes, which inject venom through fangs, the blue ringed octopus bites with its beak, because they all have beaks, and the venom isn't just in the bite, it's also released through its saliva. So it will like scrape you with its small beak in the skin
Oh,
and then put this neurotoxin into
like a
the
double
wounds.
whammy.
Yeah, so
But it's so sad because it's so cute.
it's so cute. It's a painless or even mild bite, so sometimes you might not even notice that you got bitten, and many victims don't realize it until the symptoms start showing up.
And like you don't
Um,
wake up.
I mean, this is pretty instantaneous as well, like within minutes. of getting bit. You will have numbness and paralysis. So it'll block nerve signals, causing rapid paralysis. I mean, it's so fast. Respiratory failure. I think
Oh
that's what usually
shoot.
kills people is you just stop breathing. Within minutes, the victim may lose the ability to breathe. And you get locked in syndrome. This is where you stay conscious, but you cannot move or speak. So
Oh
the case
no.
I heard
That's
about,
terrifying.
yes, so the story I heard about was someone vacationing in Australia. They see this beautiful little thing in a tide pool, kind of like pick it up in their hand, bites them on the palm. By the time they are walking back to their parents, they're like a 12-year-old ish. They have collapsed, can't breathe, and can't tell anybody what's happened because they're completely paralyzed. So the only way you can survive this is for someone to give you CPR until the toxin wears off. Like you're just
A
stuck.
long time. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
And there's also been a report of like a diver who got bit by one of these and he was dead before he could even get out of the water. Like he couldn't even
Oh
reach the surface of the water
no.
before being dead.
Terrible.
So yeah, so that's just one little terror that's in the ocean. We also have the stonefish, and it's the world's most venomous fish, and it camouflages itself on the ocean floor and looks perfectly like a rock. So you might
Yeah,
not
so it doesn't
even
even look
know.
like a fish. It looks just like a seaweed rock or something.
Yeah, it blends in so well with like coral and things. You might not even know you're near one of these things, but it is
Yeah.
very
Until you're like,
venomous. And then, of course, we get to like saltwater crocodiles.
oh
They like
no.
to hang out at this area too,
No,
and
thank
they
you.
are a perfect
Oh
ambush
man.
predator. They're found in Asia, Australia, and parts of Africa.
How
And
he
they
looks.
don't exactly swim towards you, actually. They just kind of wait. And that's the scary thing about crocodiles. They're super patient ambush predators. So they like to lurk beneath the surface, with their eyes just poking out, watching everything, not moving. They can remain motionless for hours.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
then they kind of blend into the water. A lot of times they're mistaken for floating logs. And
Yeah.
the moment prey comes close enough, they explode and just burst into, that snapping. Their jaws, I think they are maybe they are one of the, if not the most powerful jaws on the planet, at least on
Wow.
land. Their bite force is 3,700 psi. That's more than 5 times the bite of a large dog, like a German Shepherd,
Hmm.
just for, something to kind of compare it to. And once they have their victim, they initiate that horrible death roll that we all hear about, where they start spinning you around in circles violently and trying to like tear you to shreds and drag you into the deep water to where they'll drown you. And
Yeah.
it's pretty horrible. So I would definitely want to avoid one of those. And if that's not nightmarish enough, a full grown saltwater croc can reach up to 23 feet. That's 7 meters and weigh over 2,200 pounds, 1,000 kilograms.
Oh gosh.
So you're not gonna be able to fight this thing off.
Oh, you're not.
It can launch itself out of the water in seconds, grabbing its prey before it's even known. And there are confirmed cases of these crocodiles pulling people from boats, shorelines, and even waist deep water. So they will jump
Oh,
out of the water and get you if they think the opportunity is there.
that's
You're
really
not even
not.
safe on boats from these guys. Hope that helps you sleep at night.
I think so.
You're welcome. We
No,
also have these
no,
beautiful sea snakes.
no,
A
ma'am.
lot of
Bye.
people are
No,
completely
that's
enamored
not
by their
me.
beautiful patterns.
No, they're not. They're horrible.
And there again, these are also found in Asia, Australia, and the Pacific Islands. Their venom is 10 times more toxic than a cobra's. So
Oh
it's
no, thank
pretty much
you.
certain death if you get bit by one of these. And they don't
Lord.
always bite, but if they do, you could be dead in minutes. And a man in Australia was filming underwater when he was bitten by a Belcher sea snake, and he died before he could even reach the surface. So this is another very deadly, deadly animal that likes to hang out and play where we do.
No.
So be careful.
Oh dear.
Let's see what else. Oh, and then we also have the barracuda. Can't forget about that. That thing is lightning fast with razor sharp teeth.
It's like a little
It's
baby
found.
shark.
What's that?
It's almost like a baby shark.
Might as well. I mean, this thing's just terrible too. It's found in the
Like the name
Atlantic.
is so stupid though. It's like that can't be intimidating.
Barracuda. That barracuda's going to get you. That barracuda. Anyway, yeah, they're found in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, and they can swim up to 27 miles per hour, so 43 kilometers an hour. And they strike with a burst of speed that leaves no time to react. I mean, these things will bite you before you even realize what's happened.
Yeah.
And a big thing with humans is they are attracted to shiny objects like jewelry, watches, or diving gear. So they have been known to attack people like when they see reflective kind of objects. A swimmer once had a barracuda latch onto his arm, shaking violently and tearing flesh down to the bone. So these things are pretty aggressive and have very, very sharp teeth.
That's horrible.
And if those aren't cute enough, we also have the electric eels. So these things are mysterious. They can shock you. And we have no idea where they come from. Look at that. They're found in South America, mainly in the Amazon. So that makes me feel a little bit better next time I'm at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
But
good.
these fuckers are capable of delivering up to 860 volts. That is nearly 7 times stronger than a standard police taser. So, like, they can stun the shit out of you, okay? Just don't mess with them if you see an electric eel, because they're electric. And despite their
Boogie,
name,
boogie.
and despite their name, no one knows exactly where they come from. Scientists still don't fully understand their breeding habits. We don't know how they're created or like
It's
where
like
they
they're
come from.
so ugly, they're cute.
Okay, I don't know. I disagree with that. I think they're just ugly.
I mean, you're like, oh, look at you. But no.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. But yeah, they will shock the hell out of you as well. And if all of that stuff under the water isn't scary enough, we also have riptides. Now, these are like big things that actually cause a lot of the drownings for most of us who
Yeah.
are swimming. So, one moment you're standing waist deep, the next you're being pulled out to sea. That's what's
Yeah.
so dangerous about rip currents. 80% of all beach rescues are due to rip currents. And if you were to watch Baywatch, you would know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Mitch Buchanan has to constantly pull people out of the rip currents.
or our dad.
Yeah.
You would also know that.
Yeah, and what's scary about the rip current is they don't pull you under the water, they pull you away from the shore out to sea.
Yeah.
Most victims die not from the current itself, but the panic and exhaustion. So you can just exhaust yourself swimming against this current and fighting a force stronger than even an Olympic swimmer can handle.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to outswim this. And it's frustrating because the beach is right there. The best thing to do, though, is to swim parallel to the beach. If you're
Right.
watching, there's this handy little chart. So you can just kind of start swimming sideways with the waves and try to swim out of it. That's really your only hope. Otherwise, you're going to get exhausted and be swept further out to sea. I say don't even get in. Don't even have to worry about it. That's just me. And we also, of course, are haunted from our past. There's still tons of unexploded mines from all the wars we've had.
Great. Uh-oh, I wonder if that has to do with the Myrtle Beach fires.
Could be, I don't know, but
Shit. There's like there's an old Civil War like cannon under there or something.
probably.
Oh God.
But yeah, the ocean is literally littered with World War II era sea mines, and they're still active. They're just down there active, and shifting sands can expose them, and any unlucky swimmer or diver might trigger one without warning. So I mean, you could be scuba diving, bump into one of these things, and explode.
Oh no.
In 2021, a 500-pound mine was found just off the coast of England. It's been sitting there for over 70 years, still active. So it's just sitting there, waiting for somebody to activate it.
Oh.
And if that's not scary enough, you also have like underwater sinkholes which just scare the shit out of me. Like I think that's my thing with the ocean is it's so amorphous, I guess. Like where is the bottom? You think you're at the bottom,
Yeah.
oh, it still goes.
Yeah.
And then you have like
Yeah.
crevices and sinkholes and suction, and it can just keep sucking you and taking you down
I
further.
like outer space.
What's that?
Like outer space.
Yeah, it really is so much like outer space. But let's talk about some of these underwater sinkholes. So, blue holes, for instance, are massive underwater pits. They're created by downward currents that pull divers inside. So, you will get
Ooh,
sucked into these.
no, thank
A,
you.
a free diver in the Bahamas vanished in Dean's Blue Hole. I would not want a blue hole named after me.
It's like I'm good.
Sarah's Blue Hole.
Guys, I'm kind of a big deal. There's a blue hole named after me.
But yeah, Dean's Blue Hole is one of the deepest known sinkholes at 663 feet, 202 meters. And this diver's body has never been found.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, there's no way.
that's nightmare. Like, where the fuck does that go? I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
I hate every part of that. So those are there.
Mm.
And then, not even, and then, like, on top of that, you also have, like, underwater volcanoes. Like these things can just like there's more than 1 million underwater volcanoes that exist and many are still active. There's tons of these and they can erupt suddenly without warning and it will just make the water boiling hot. Like you might get boiled.
You just boil while you're on
Yeah.
your slime.
It can
What?
also release toxic gas as well.
No.
Also an episode of Baywatch.
Uh-uh.
Um, So yeah, like there can be toxic gas that just like kills everything in sight, and it can make massive shockwaves as well. In 2022, the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'apai underwater volcano erupted with a force of 500 Hiroshima bombs, triggering tsunamis across the Pacific.
Oh
Like,
man.
it's unreal. And as I said, the toxic gases, yes, that is an episode of Baywatch. I think it's season 2, maybe. Anyway, pockets of methane and hydrogen sulfide can erupt from the sea floor, instantly suffocating marine life. So you literally have these dead zones within the ocean where everything goes like kind of within this little bubble or range and it dies.
Oh
It's
no.
so creepy and just so unnatural on the land. Like it's super creepy. Now we're getting into the Twilight Zone. This is just the second zone, like of 5. You can see it's a lot darker as well. For reference, this is 200 to 1,000 meters, or 656 to 32,000, or sorry, 3,200 feet. So it's
Ugh.
like the edge of darkness. So for reference, the Eiffel Tower and the Empire State Building would vanish completely into these depths. That's how
Man.
deep this is.
That's
And I hate
crazy.
that so much. Sunlight fades into eerie blue, then disappears into blackness. This is the zone of shadows where light no longer penetrates and predators rise from below.
Ugh.
As I mentioned, like the underwater drop offs are also really scary. Like, this is where you can just see the sheer walls of the ocean. It
Ugh.
creeps me
Yeah. I
out
mean, it's
so
really
bad.
beautiful, but I don't want to be hanging out
Yeah,
there.
so these steep drop-offs, they mark the boundary between where humans can safely swim and where the unknown begins. Like we're
Oh,
starting to get into like pressure as well, like water pressure that makes
oh
us
no.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Um, and we're also getting into giant squid territory.
Nice.
Uh, yeah, so case
Okay,
it,
that doesn't even. Okay, when we start getting into this, okay, this giant squid, I, this looks like something like an alien gone wrong. Like, do you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, they start looking a little
alien.
right,
Everything starts to look very
right.
alien at the sea
Okay,
level and
because I'm
below.
like this. I don't even know. Like, this image is just too much.
Yeah, so in 2017, a diver in the Bahamas felt something massive pass beneath him. When reviewing his footage, he saw the unmistakable shape of a giant squid lurking just beyond visibility. I haven't been able to publicly find this video, which frustrates me, but there are other accounts of giant squid. I think for a while, scientists questioned if they were real, They are very much real. There is a lot of video and photographic evidence and firsthand accounts
I
of
mean,
these.
this thing looks like a wiener with an eyebrow and eye. Like, it's just
And tentacles, though, like
a
what the
tentacle.
hell?
Like, it's just not.
Yeah, we're gonna get into things look a little weird.
Yeah, I'm like, what is
But yeah, these giant squid can reach up to like 10 feet, like 3 meters, and they're just huge. So they can throw these huge tentacles and grab you from a distance without you even noticing that they're even close.
this?
They're pretty terrifying.
Yeah, they are.
Um, but yeah, there's been quite a few encounters of these giant squid. And then that leads some folks into thinking, like, what about the Kraken? If, like, pirates kind of thought this mythological giant squid existed that could, like, grab an entire pirate ship. And I say, possibly. We don't know what's
Yeah,
down there.
it could happen.
So, for centuries, sailors have told stories of the Kraken, a monstrous sea creature capable of dragging entire ships into the abyss. And some believe these legends stem from real life encounters with giant and colossal squid, which can grow up to 46 feet, 14 meters long. Like, like, we're getting into a realm of, like, things just being big for no reason, which also
Yeah,
creeps me out. Like,
sure.
just the scale and vastness of all of this scares the living shit out of me.
I get it. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, all
Yeah,
right.
this is just the beginning of where things start to look pretty odd. The alien like,
Really. 'Cause I thought it kind of started at the very beginning with that little octopus, but okay.
oh,
What
the
the hell is
octopus
this? Like
are
a flower?
relatively normal. And then this is where we have some other nightmare kind of creatures. So we have a stoplight loose jawfish.
What
Um,
is? I don't even know what I'm looking at. This
and
is crazy.
they have like red eyes, so they use red bioluminescence to hunt prey while remaining undetectable. It's like a really creepy looking little fish with a, I
It
don't know,
looks
it
like
almost looks like a
it
black
looks like
trash
a
can with
it looks
eyes.
like a distorted fly, like spread.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, but yeah, that little thing lurks down there. Um, and of course, you knew I was going to bring up sharks.
Oh well, of course you're gonna bring up sharks. I
Yeah,
mean
so
that's the least terrifying thing I've seen out of these. Other
this,
one.
if you're watching this megalodon image that I have, that's actually the megalodon replica from the South Carolina State Museum. Um, and that thing scares the living shit out of me.
I mean, just looking at the rows of teeth.
But when you walk into the South Carolina Museum, like I think in Columbia or somewhere near there, this huge megalodon that's like 60 feet long is just suspended from the ceiling above you, looking down at you, and you have to like walk under it. And it is the most uncomfortable, scary thing ever. So if you want to
Nail
get the shit scared out of you, go there.
He's like, no.
And then there's like this huge picture of like its real jaws, and it shows like 5 or 6 scientists all standing in it.
No, thank
In
you.
it.
Mm-mm.
Like
No,
that's just terrifying to me.
that is a lot.
Anyway, yeah, let's talk about these sharks though. I mean,
God.
I'm terrified of sharks, but I also love sharks. I think they're fascinating and horrifying, and they're just the perfect killing machine. So let's just talk about that. So, sharks have ruled the ocean for over 400 million years. They have survived 5 mass extinctions. Like,
They're
these
crazy.
things are the apex predator. Like, if you could just wrap your head around that for a minute.
Like nothing can extinct them.
Yeah, like, among them was one of the most terrifying creatures, which was the megalodon. And this prehistoric behemoth, which lived between 23 to 3.6 million years ago, was the largest shark to ever roam the seas. Estimates suggest it grew maybe up to 60 feet, 18 meters long, about the length of a school bus. I mean, we're literally talking about something that big just swimming around the ocean. It's horrifying. And its teeth are the size of like a human hand, and they really are. I mean, they're just
God.
huge. And it was the largest shark to ever roam the seas. And just the sheer size is terrifying to me. It also has a bite force exceeding 40,000 psi. So if you remember when we were talking about the saltwater croc, who has like what, like 5 or 10 times the pressure of a large dog,
Yeah.
shark has 10 times the pressure of that saltwater crocodile. So it will just crush you with such ease.
Ugh.
I mean, you're done. It's 100 times stronger than a large dog bite. Like, it's just ridiculous. And scientists believe Megalodon was not a direct ancestor of the great white shark, which I was surprised because I always thought it was the
That.
great white, but rather part of a separate lineage that ultimately went extinct due to climate change and the disappearance of its primary prey, whales. This thing was eating whales.
God.
Like, get out of here with that. And
Oh.
while the megalodon is gone, probably some believe it could still be lurking in the unexplored depths of the
Or
ocean.
maybe it just went under even more.
And I have to say I agree with these people because we over 80% of the ocean is still uncharted.
Over
80%,
80%?
over 80%. And occasional reports of massive unidentified sharks and oversized bite marks on marine mammals fuel speculation that this thing could still be out there.
Oh no. I mean, I feel like maybe ETs could be down there too. I don't know.
Oh yeah, for sure. We can get into that. And I mean there are a few sharks that you will encounter in these areas where humans still kind of linger. These are our two zones where we kind of reside, the sunlight and the twilight zone. Um but yeah, we also have the oceanic white-tip shark, and it's found in tropical and subtropical waters worldwide. And these are actually very aggressive open water sharks. So if you are in a situation where you fall overboard from like a shipwreck or something, a lot of these white tips are known
Ready for you.
come around that area following distress signals and sensing the slightest movement. These fuckers can grow up to 13 feet, 14 meters
It looks so
long, and
goofy compared to the other shark,
yeah, well, they're pretty
but they're still
aggressive, and
fun.
they have long been responsible for attacks of shipwreck survivors.
Oh no.
They can swim up to 12 miles per hour or 19 kilometers per hour, and they just have like an explosive burst of speed when they do that. Um, and their annual attacks are pretty rare because they are out in the deeper open water, but it does
Yeah.
sound like if you know, fall in the water, you
Cruise or
might have to watch
something.
out for these.
Oh god.
And this was actually a case, like, if you remember the USS Indianapolis disaster, if you know the movie Jaws,
I
Quint,
do.
the guy
Yeah.
that, like, he's the sea captain, he's supposed to be a survivor of the USS Indianapolis disaster. And he
Mm.
talks about that story about 900 men were stranded in the ocean, and over 4 days, hundreds were eaten by sharks, primarily oceanic white tips, as well as tiger sharks. And then, of course, if you talk about Jaws, you have to talk about the great white.
Oh,
Great white shark. It's found in coastal regions in North America, South Africa, Australia, and the Mediterranean. And these apex predators are capable of launching themselves out of the water, which also
God.
just terrifies me that they can just jump right out of the ocean. They can reach speeds of up to 25 miles per hour. You're not going to outswim any of these things,
No,
people.
you're not. You're not.
And their bite force exceeds 4,000 psi. That thing's going to crush you. If you survive its punctures of teeth, it's going to crush you. And I mean, it will absolutely crush your bones. Like, you're not going to escape. But these things can reach up to 20 feet, 6 meters, and weigh over 5,000 pounds. Just the sheer size of them is horrifying to me. And they are responsible for annual attacks of around 50 to 60 per year, with a small percentage fatal. So they do get like to give you little taste tests, if you will.
Ew.
And then we have the tiger shark as well. It's found in tropical and subtropical waters, including Hawaii, Florida, and the Caribbean. I think a lot of people, especially in Florida, do encounter this guy.
Yeah.
Uh, the tiger shark are sometimes called the garbage disposal of the sea, as they will eat anything, including metal, tires, license plates. Like, they're
See,
like
they're just cleaning
goats.
it up. I mean,
Yeah, so I'm like, why you even bother with us?
yeah, like, there's plenty down there for you to munch on.
And these things can grow up to 18 feet, 5.5 meters, and weigh over 1,400 pounds. Um, they're responsible for around 3 to 4 attacks a year, though they're more likely to bite than most species. So be careful around these guys.
No, no thanks.
And then last but not least, this is also horrifying. These are the bull sharks. Unlike most sharks, they can survive in freshwater. Think
Oh
about
no.
that for 5 minutes. uh, Being attacks have occurred in rivers and lakes by these guys, not just the ocean, including one incident in Illinois. They are known for their high aggression levels and strong bite force. So, yeah, these things kind of have a bad attitude. They can reach up to 11 feet and weigh up to 500 pounds. Even though they're smaller, they're very, very aggressive. And, ooh, they might be in freshwater. Um, they're responsible for roughly 20 attacks per year and one of the top three species involved in shark bites. So,
Oh,
keep
great.
clear of
That's
these
fun.
guys. But yeah, I have heard horror stories about these getting into like canals and places where freshwater places
Think
where
a
people
shark's
play
community. Yeah.
and people get attacked by them. So it's pretty scary. This is also horrifying. So post Hurricane Katrina in 2005, increased sightings of bull sharks were reported in lakes near the area because they were like, blown in from the hurricane and just were fine in the fresh water. So that's just, ugh, no.
We located.
Yes. And then now we go deeper. So those were just the first two zones, sunlight and twilight. Now we're getting into the midnight zone. This is 1,000 to 4,000 meters below the surface. 30.
This makes me feel like I can't breathe.
Yeah, this is total darkness and total terror. Like this is what it looks like under there.
I mean, it looks like outer space.
It looks like space. Like this
It
doesn't
really
even look like
does.
planet Earth anymore.
Uh-uh.
So yeah, as I mentioned, total darkness. So the human eye is useless here. There's no natural light, only the eerie glow of bioluminescent creatures. And
Oh, that's what that is?
well, this added a little bit of light for like artistic effect. This is like
Oh.
if you had night vision or a flashlight.
Okay. I was like, holy shit.
No, this is just like essentially like seed stuff that like drips down. Like it's
Okay.
where the bottom feeders go. So it's
Got
like
it. I was like,
all sorts of
oh,
stuff.
I'm done. Bye.
Yeah, some species produce light to attract prey, communicate, or confuse predators. And a deep sea diver once described the sudden flash of a creature's glowing red eyes right before his submersible was struck by something large. So that's horrifying to me. Just seeing a flash of something and then something bumping into my ship really hard. Like, no, thank you.
It
Um,
reminds me, yeah, of what is it? The Wes Anderson movie,
oh, Life Aquatic.
Life Aquatic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're probably around like this area.
Yes.
It's yeah, you need a submersible at this area. This pressure humans
But it would still scare the shit out of me.
it will crush you. So at this step the pressure is over 5,800 psi. This would be like if a Boeing jet like 747 was on top of you.
Oh my
So
God.
like you people can't go down here. You need a submersible. Any human without a protective like submersible will be instantly flattened, as is the case of the 2023 Ocean Gate.
Oh,
If you remember, the Ocean Gate Titan submersible disaster, where
dude.
some billionaires thought that they could fuck around and they found out. So this was a karmic example of what happens when deep sea pressure meets human arrogance. Billionaire Stockton Rush, in his infinite wisdom, decided that safety regulations were just suggestions and sent a glorified tin can to explore the wreckage of the Titanic at this level. And he ignored warnings from actual experts. And he took paying passengers, including one teenager that did not
Yeah,
want to go, who I do feel bad for.
that's terrible. Yeah.
But he also took another billionaire, Hamish Harding, on a one-way trip to the implosion of their submersible. Um, Yeah, I mean, they were probably flattened like in seconds. What happened was like a catastrophic pressure failure at 3,800 meters that just obliterated all of them in
But
milliseconds
I
into
mean,
nothing.
I hope it was quick and it wasn't like, they like run out of air and it was like a slow, painful, you know what I mean?
I think it was very fast. I think it was like instantaneous. So there's
Oh.
that. But yeah, don't fuck around with stuff down here, people. We're
No,
not supposed to
don't.
be down here.
Yeah, there's a reason.
The deepest predators, though, I mean, the fact that anything can survive here and further already just scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, like it's
Um,
probably not for you.
yeah. So we have and this is where
Oh,
things start to look even more creepy.
what?
We have the black dragonfish. It's nearly
Okay, that looks like a
invisible.
garbage pail kid
It does. I
making
mean, it literally looks like a monster.
the fish. Like, whoa.
Yeah. And how dark it is, like it's solid black. It's nearly
Yeah.
invisible except for its glowing red eyes and bioluminescent lure. So it has like one of those lures that
We're not meant to be with that creature. No.
yeah, it looks like a little, I don't know.
That's scary.
I don't even know what it looks like.
It looks like a horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary.
Oh God, what is this?
You also have the goblin shark, who looks a
What
little
is
goofy,
this?
but it's
He
a
looks like a
prehistoric.
rhinoceros, but a shark with like a real messed up grill.
But it really does look like a goblin.
But
Uh,
I just don't know.
but
It was like
what?
almost still skin.
I don't know. Maybe
And it's
I'll
like his
post
little
a
eyes
video.
are just like so little.
Yeah, it really does look like a goblin, but like
It's
its
not.
jaw, its
Yeah,
teeth part is the scary part. The rest of it looks kind of goofy.
but it's kind of funny looking.
It is. It's pretty
It's
funny looking.
very
Yeah.
scary way.
And then, of course, just the fear of the unknown at this point. So over 80%, like I said, of the ocean remains unexplored, and
I just
creatures
can't get over
beyond.
that. 80%.
Yeah, so like tons of the creatures in these zones and below, we just don't understand them. There's tons that we might not even know exist.
We probably should just
So,
leave it alone, man.
ew.
Leave it alone.
But this is the abyssal zone, so this is 4,000 to 6,000 meters below, 13,000 to 20,000 feet. And this is where prehistoric horrors still exist. So at this step, there is no sky, no surface, no trace of the world above. I mean, this is like truly alien abyss kind of zone. Um, it's also really cold here, and just humanity doesn't really exist in this zone. No humans can survive here without extreme technology. Like you can't go swim here, and even most submarines can't even withstand this pressure. Like
I was
that's
about to
how
say, what do they do? Just
foreign.
send like cameras down or something, or try to send cameras down? I guess.
I wish we would. I think we should. And only specially designed deep sea submersibles that are reinforced, like space capsules, can go down here. So yeah, the pressure is completely unsurvivable. It's over 8,700 psi. That's more than 600 times the pressure at sea level. You cannot survive down here. We also have some deep sea predators as well here, and of course squid. I mean, these squids
I mean,
survive
this is just
everywhere.
not real. I'm
Like
sorry.
at this level, we have the abyssal giant squid.
This is not here.
This thing grows over 43 feet, 13 meters. It lurks in total darkness, its tentacles lined with suction cups covered in teeth. That doesn't make you want to just stop breathing. I don't know what does.
This is just so Beetlejuice.
It's unreal that this is even our planet. And then what's also down there, these
Oh,
scary ass fangtooth fish. These look like nightmare fuel. They have the largest to body ratio of any fish.
this
And
looks
it looks really, really
oh,
goofy.
wow.
We also have these things called zombie worms. They are bone eating worms that dissolve whale carcasses with acid. So that's lurking down there for you. Does that not sound like something straight out of Alien? Like, come on, it's using acid. And then last but not least, guys, we're almost there at the very bottom, the Hadal Zone. This
That like
is,
for Hades?
I think so, yeah, like Hades. I don't know. This 6,000 to 11,000 meters, or 20,000 to 36,000 feet. This is the last place on Earth. The Hadal Zone is as deep in the ocean as commercial jets fly in the sky. So just think about that for a minute. That's how deep this is. So this is the absolute final frontier of the ocean. So there's unimaginable pressure, as I mentioned. So
What?
you will get crushed immediately at the
What am I
bottom of the
looking
Mariana Trench. Oh, I'll get to that in a second.
at? Okay.
At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the pressure reaches over 16,000 psi. Like, that's more than 1,000 times the pressure at sea level. The human would be flattened instantly without heavily reinforced deep sea submersibles. But this is also where things just get big for no reason. So, giantism in the deep, just why? Why do things get this big? Like some say it's to help explore the deep ocean better. Like the bigger you are, the more you can explore faster. But there really
Maybe
is just
there's
no
a way. I
explanation
don't know.
to why these things have experienced what they call deep sea giantism. And it's just like things just get giant. And of course, we have some more squid. We have the colossal squid, even bigger squid. So while the giant squid dwells higher in the ocean, the colossal cousin, believed to be the even larger one, are thought to lurk in the trenches, like really, really deep. These guys get up to 46 feet or 14 meters, and yeah, they're just hanging out down there, giant for no reason. And unfortunately, we even have trash down here now. So we're starting to notice plastic, human trash showing up at the very, very most unreachable places of the ocean, which makes
Dude.
me really sad and angry. And I hope some unknown Leviathan raise hell from it. But yeah, this is just like a sad little fact that, yeah, you can see freaking trash down there, plastic waste at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Like, it's ridiculous.
I mean, that doesn't put
Yeah.
that in perspective. You know what I mean? Oh my God, what is
Well,
that?
that and then this level, over 99% of the Hadal Zone remains unexplored. We have no idea what's down here. Some researchers speculate that undiscovered leviathans could even exist in these depths beyond human reach. Like anything could be down here. So I kind of made like a sea monster.
Okay. I was
This
like,
is just my little sea monster, but it could like we don't know. There could be extraterrestrials down here. There could be who knows what. We have no idea. We only know 1% of the Hadal Zone. It's crazy. And then we have the case of the bloop, which I have heard about on TikTok a good bit. So the bloop is a mysterious ultra low frequency sound recorded in 1997, and it was once thought to be a massive unknown sea creature. Later analysis suggested it was caused by the fracturing of an ice shelf, which is also horrifying to me, but that hasn't stopped speculation. Some still believe this could be the sound of something enormous lurking in the deep, something science has not discovered yet. So it could be Godzilla. We don't know.
no.
I believe there's all sorts of shit down there that we have no ideas down there. Just
Mm.
because why not? I mean,
This is definitely stuff horror movies are made of. I
yeah.
feel like.
And then, really, like the ultimate unknown is, are we alone? I mean, we've heard a lot of. Didn't the government even fucking come out and say like, "Hey, there's aliens in the ocean"?
Oh, yeah, like we already need, like we
Aerial
didn't know.
phenomenon.
Yeah. Like, hey,
That's kind
thanks.
of the last piece is, are we even alone down there? If you look at some of these creatures like octopus, for instance, sometimes some scientists speculate that octopuses might have extraterrestrial origins.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, they have completely unique DNA, advanced problem solving skills, and the ability to change their body at will. All traits
Yeah.
that seem almost alien compared to land dwelling creatures, right?
You
Also, some
definitely
people,
find that theory.
yeah, also some people can't let go of this bloop. They don't accept it as, ice wall fracture. They think it really is. It could be something massive down there.
Who knows?
And just there again, unexplored trenches.
Or you know what it could be? You
What?
think about how, like, with global warming and everything, and how this is happening as a result. They say that as like this happens and like glaciers and certain things start unthawing, that it's going to bring about like creatures that fall with it, viruses, all kinds of stuff. So what if it's both? Like, what if it's a melting of something and bringing back something that's prehistoric at the same time?
Yeah, it could. I mean, there's
I
no
mean,
way you can rule any of that stuff out.
that's kind of terrifying.
Um, yeah, especially with what, like the majority of the ocean as a whole not being explored, but especially 99% of
Yeah,
just
there's no telling what's under there.
we'll never
But you
know.
know what? We're gonna fuck around and find out. I feel like with climate change, just throw that out there.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
There's no
That's
telling.
just all the reasons why the ocean scares the shit out of me. And it should
Well,
you too.
you did a really compelling case there, Adele.
Thank you.
That was really terrifying. Like, I do love the beach, but for real though, it is terrifying.
So yeah, those are all things to consider
So you're ready to plan our beach trip after this?
next time. Now you probably won't even get me in freshwater.
You're like, I'm not even getting in the pool.
Nope. I'll drink some water. That'll be about it.
She
But
won't
yeah,
even eat fish. So
I don't
she's
even
like,
like
nope, nope,
fish.
nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope. Nope. But that's it. That is the
Wow,
nightmare of the ocean.
Adele, that was quite a lot to cover. Thank you.
You're welcome. It did feel like more of a report, but hey, there's a lot we don't know about it that should terrify you.
Yeah, well, thank you for putting those fears in our head. We appreciate you looking out for us.
Yeah.
Well, as we say here on our podcast, stay safe out there, friends,
Stay curious.
and never trust the living
Living.
or the ocean.
Mm-mm.
All right, guys. Well, maybe if you haven't booked your beach trip yet, don't make that a plan.
Don't do it. I'm telling you that.
All right, you guys. Thanks for listening.
Later, taters.